The red dot blinked on the upper corner of the screen. The handheld camera swayed gently as Lucas panned across the narrow, unpaved road that led to the farmhouse. "Here we go." "House09, Camilla muttered, her voice barely audible over the hum of the van's engine as it died. They stepped out one by one. A mist hung low, clinging to the wild grass like sweat. The house stood in silence, slouched under the weight of time. Its wooden panels were warped, almost breathing, and the shutters rattled in a wind that didn't touch the trees. "Perfect for an exorcism scene, right?" Raoul joked, nudging Hugo with his elbow. Hugo chuckled, adjusting his boom mic, already capturing the chorus of creaking and distant crows. Camilla moved ahead, cradling the worn leather-bound book against her chest. "The prop," she said, but her grip was a little too tight. "This belonged to an actual occultist. It's got real Latin chants and everything." Lucas zoomed in on the cover. Cracked leather, claw marks, and what looked like old blood pressed into the spine. They unlocked the door. It groaned open with unnatural weight. Inside, the air was damp and stale. The floorboards sighed under their feet. Wallpaper peeled like shedding skin. "Let's get the gear inside," said Gabby, her eyes scanning the corners of the dim hallway. Something about the house felt wrong. Too still, too alert. The camera caught it. A shape at the far end of the hallway by the stairs. Just for a second. Then it was gone. The sun had vanished beneath thick clouds, casting a dull, bluish hue through the filthy windows. Power was unreliable, so they relied on lanterns and portable lights. Shadows leaned at odd angles across the walls. "Let's try a dry run of the possession scene," Raoul called, setting his tablet on a dusty counter. "Gabby, you'll kneel near the mattress. Lucas, follow her tight." Gabby took her place reluctantly, the faux altar set up in what had once been a living room. A single old chair in the corner faced the scene. No one remembered placing it there. Camilla flipped through the Grimorio's stiff, yellowed pages. Her eyes caught on a passage scrawled in faded red ink. She hesitated. "Use the Latin. Let's get authentic audio," Raoul suggested. "Yeah, sure." As Camilla read aloud, the words came too easily. Her voice deepened slightly, almost as if she wasn't speaking them herself. "Adnare tuento, mortis lingua, liberendumum." The boom mic crackled. A sharp burst of static rang through Hugo's headset, followed by a whisper, a child's whisper. "Let us in." He tore the headphones off, glancing around. "What the hell was that?" he muttered. "No one said anything," said Lucas, eyes glued to the monitor. The feed glitched. For a fraction of a second, Gabby's eyes turned black on screen, though she looked normal in person. She winced suddenly, pressing her hand to her stomach. "You okay?" Raoul asked. "Yeah, just felt like something moved inside me." She forced a smile, but her skin had gone pale, clammy. From upstairs, a loud thud echoed, as though something heavy had fallen. They all froze. "The place is abandoned, right?" Hugo asked. "Only us here," Camilla replied too quickly. Lucas aimed the camera toward the staircase. For a breathless moment, something peeked from the shadows. The chair in the corner creaked behind them. No one was sitting in it. Raoul replayed the footage on Lucas's monitor. "There," he pointed. "You saw that, right?" The glitch. One frame, just one, where Gabby's face twisted into something wrong. Jaw unhinged. Eyes rolled back. Her fingers bent backwards. "Compression artifact," Lucas mumbled, though his voice betrayed doubt. "I'm not doing that scene again tonight," Gabby said, sitting down heavily on the dusty floor. "My insides feel like they're stretching." Hugo took a slow step away from her, instinct prickling. "We need a break." Camilla, still holding the Grimorio, didn't respond. Her eyes were fixated on a new page, one they hadn't seen earlier. The ink was fresher, darker. Wet. "Camilla." Raoul stepped toward her. She blinked, startled. "It's like the book's changing." "No one touched it," Lucas muttered. The lights flickered. Every camera simultaneously dropped to black and white. Audio spiked, screeching static followed by a voice, layered, ancient. "Read." Something in them obeyed. Camilla's voice turned sharp, her tongue wrapping too easily around the new Latin. "Exorgat malum de domo, sanguinem donamus, apertio inter mundos." The air folded inward. The wallpaper on the far wall peeled back in slow, curling layers, revealing wooden boards that bled from between the cracks. Gabby collapsed, vomiting a stream of black sludge. It hissed on the floor like acid. The overhead lantern shattered. Glass rained. From the hallway, doors slammed one by one. Bang, bang, bang. They tried to run, but the front door refused to open. Not locked, not jammed. It simply didn't exist anymore. Only wall. "What the—" "Guys, the windows," Lucas said, backing away. Outside there was nothing. Not night, not landscape. Just a slow-turning void, as if the house was suspended in black ink. A low growl vibrated through the floorboards. A shadow passed across the ceiling, like someone crawling above them. Except the house had no attic. The camera feed kept rolling. A comment popped up on their live stream. "This is unreal. How are they doing this?" Then another. "Replay the chant. That was sick." Camilla smiled. "I think it liked that." The floorboards groaned beneath unseen weight. A vibration, low and steady, throbbed through the walls like a heartbeat. No one spoke. Gabby stood slowly. Her eyes were unfocused, lips slightly parted. "Gabby," Camilla whispered. Gabby turned. Her mouth stretched into a crooked smile. Her eyes were empty voids. And then she screamed, not from her throat, but from somewhere deeper, like an open wound screaming into the world. Raoul reached for her, but she lunged, tackling him to the ground with inhuman strength. Her fingernails tore through his scalp as she convulsed, vomiting blood and black bile into his face. Hugo tried to pull her off, but something dragged him backward, hard, across the floor. He screamed as his leg twisted at an impossible angle. Camilla backed into the corner, clutching the Grimorio, her lips moving silently, praying, chanting. The house was shifting, not collapsing but changing. The ceiling pulsed like breathing flesh. The floorboards stretched. One wall melted like wax, revealing a corridor that hadn't been there before, lined with doors, each carved with names. Their names. Lucas stared at the monitor. The live stream was still active. Thousands watching. The chat flooded. "This ARG is genius. Is that makeup or CGI? Guys, is she really bleeding?" On screen, Raoul crawled into view, his face soaked and shredded. He looked directly into the camera. "Please," he gasped. "Please shut it off." Behind him, Gabby rose. Her arms snapped into angles no human body could form. Her spine cracked backward as she walked in jerks, like a puppet on broken strings. Camilla began reciting again, her voice trembling. The camera flickered, black, static, white noise. Then, a face, massive, fleshy, wet, pressed against the lens from the other side of the screen, watching. Lucas screamed and threw the monitor across the room. It didn't break. Nothing broke. The house wouldn't let anything end. A door slammed shut behind them. The new corridor had closed in, and the names on the doors had bled into new ones. Viewer names. You let it in. There was no time anymore. only the flickering pulse of the live stream. Camilla stood at the center of the room, her body still but vibrating subtly, like something inside was trying to push out. Her voice had changed. It was no longer hers. It was plural. They are watching. The door is open. The sacrifice is valid. Hugo screamed from the hallway. Lucas turned just in time to see him dragged upward by an unseen force. His scream cut off mid-air as his spine folded backward, bones crunching like dry twigs. The lights pulsed red. The monitor, now impossibly intact, showed the live stream in split screens, each one a different room in the house, each one showing versions of themselves, screaming, repeating, caught in endless loops. "Is this happening now?" Lucas whispered. "Or is this what's about to happen?" Raoul, bloodied and staggering, clutched at the Grimorio in Camilla's hands. She didn't resist. She let it go and laughed. Raoul flipped desperately through the pages. One, near the end, was freshly written, ink still wet. To complete the rite, all must witness. Their eyes give it form. Their fear gives it flesh. He looked at the camera. "They have to stop watching. That's the only way. Please. If you're watching this, turn it off. Now." The chat rolled mercilessly. "So immersive, OMG. Are these guys actors? Bro, this is the best horror stream ever." One comment stood out in bright red. "You can't stop what you've already let in." Camilla's eyes rolled back. Her skin tore like paper, revealing dozens of tiny mouths beneath, whispering, grinning. "Join us in the frame, dear viewer. Let the ritual complete." The camera zoomed in on Raoul's face, weeping, pleading, just before it went static. And then the feed resumed, clean, sharp, high resolution. Only Camilla remained smiling. Raoul knelt in a corner where the house had warped inward, as if trying to inhale him. The air was thick, syrupy, harder to breathe. The Grimorio trembled in his hands, bleeding from its spine. He turned the pages faster, frantic. His fingers stopped on the final leaf. The paper was stitched from something organic, and on it, written in jagged black strokes, was the truth. The ritual requires 6. 5 within, 1 without. Witness seals the gate. But if the witness stays... He looked up, pale, sweating. The live camera faced him, still broadcasting. He wasn't reading lines. He wasn't acting. He was the final participant. We're not the ritual. The stream is. Suddenly, the air around the camera rippled, a shimmering distortion, like heat rising from a corpse. The lens watched him. Outside the house, a sound like 1,000 flies humming in reverse filled the void. The walls bled. Names etched themselves along the floorboards. Usernames, one by one. Soul Seeker 21, Vortex Killer, Ashes 4 for dinner. The viewers were no longer watching the horror. They were fueling it. Raoul screamed at the camera, clutching the book to his chest. "If you're hearing me, you're part of it now. You kept watching. You opened the way." His body convulsed. Something pulled him back into the shadows. Only the book remained trembling. Camilla's voice, distorted and layered, echoed from every direction. No escape. Just frame, after frame, after frame. The screen faded to black. A moment of silence. Then, soft text, sterile and emotionless. "Thank you for watching Ritual at House09. Your participation has been recorded." Underneath, a link flickered briefly. It led nowhere. The footage disappeared from the platform within minutes. Viewers refreshed, only to be met with error codes or blank screens. But those who watched it through, they started seeing things. Distortions in mirrors, static in silence, whispers in their ears when phones went black. A few claimed the stream would start playing on its own at night, not on screens, but in dreams. Police reports noted the house as condemned, but when authorities arrived, no structure remained. Only a stretch of dry earth where no grass grew, no birds sang, and the soil pulsed faintly underfoot. Online forums speculated it was an elaborate hoax, a deepfake, an immersive ARG. But the usernames etched in the final frames, they matched missing persons reports. The last image ever captured by the livestream surfaced briefly on an encrypted server. A single frame, blurry, almost abstract. But in the center, one detail stood out. A face, pressed against the lens, smiling. Not from inside the house, but from behind the viewer's screen. A single whisper echoed through the final file. Now, you are in the ritual too. The end, or the beginning, depending on who's watching.